We do all of this lab work to figure out what beats 9 out of 13 options, and then this one is like, ha! Random bullshit! Constantly. Ooh, we got Dogma? You know we like a taunt jet up around here. You know what I need.
Yep, indeed. And we got Armor King. Wow, sidestep left jet upper right away.
This man believes in it.
He heard you.
Fair enough. That's a jet upper punishable, the donkey kick.
And, you know, the way the round started, wow, counter hit launch. The way the round started right away is kind of the discourse around Armor King, right? Is like he has some clear linearity. He doesn't have the same absurd coverage and power in his kit like most Tekken 8 characters do by default. So, he feels a lot more like what we're used to seeing, at least from like Tekken 7 Armor King, even though he does have some dumb stuff. Counter.
Yeah, for sure. And Dogma has definitely been playing against a lot of Armor King, as I'm sure all of us out here have in rank. Know some of the flow charts, how to beat him. That's why that early jet upper came out right there. Dogma putting on that Brian Fury pressure.
What? Wow. Sidestep, full crouch, down forward 2.
Insane. Intentional? Not sure. Maybe it was a sidestep dark upper.
Right. Oh yes, and I think these are the scariest Armor Kings. You know, Armor King, people like to talk about him as like a, you know, a poke grappler. He's got like a budget Mishima kit, but he's also got some robbery stuff. The random down back 3, the grapples, the random hop kick. Like, and Armor King is scariest when everything is a threat and you really don't know when he's going to decide to do something wild.
Yes, 100%. When you play Armor King like you can play King, that's the scariest part. Dogma once again getting an early counter hit launch right here. Jala not getting the sidestep launch, still got something for it, but not able to keep up that momentum.
Oh, trying to go for a delay hop kick. 14 frame punish was available, but Dogma looking strong with a quick 3-0.
Back 1-2 there maybe, or I guess you could shoulder. I feel like
shoulder would be a
Armor
nasty
King has a
punish.
lot
That
of great options. Yeah, it would be.
Something about Armor King, too, off the top of my head, is that, you know, when you think of Brian's weaknesses traditionally, it's that it's easy to run him over. And the risk when you're trying to run him over is that he suddenly pulls out a shotgun and counter hit launches you, right? So I imagine with Armor King's generally stronger poking, you know, not his down forward one, not as good as it used to be, but with the fact that he is like a pick a poke out of a hat character, Jala may need to get a little active, you know, and just, yeah, you're scared of running into all that stuff, and you got the early jet upper off the sidestep, but it's kind of how the matchup is supposed to go. Fighting Brian is supposed to be balancing the art of poking him and not dying.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we have seen consistently throughout pretty much every Tekken that included Brian constantly. Yep. So great that he's kept that identity. Jala switching up their identity here to the main with the Tekken Emperor rank on this one.
Yeah, and June. Now, June, you know, doesn't get all of her strength traditionally. Usually Brian's got elbows and knees on lock, but again, that poke game saw it get him an early lead, a nice sidewalk to the rear, and unfortunately he's running out of chances to try to oppress Brian here.
Oh, didn't even get the taunt back for it. Dogma, come on, brother. Did you really win the set if you can't rip it like that on stream?
It's a weird time to play a poke character in Season 2. You're with the HP buff, you're doing a bit less damage, but that's a good one! Counter hit launching low!
Yeah, talk about good pokes. Ones that will counter hit into a launcher. Very nice. Dogma got plenty of them, trying to use them, but Jala's not allowing that.
Nice little stance mix there. I like Jala running the lows over and over. You know, hitting somebody's stand block over and over, not as useful. And even if you're doing strings that can be low parried, like, test their defense. This is great stuff. I like this adjustment.
Sure, you got to make sure that they continue to look at their toes. That's why 2D fighters are so good at it. A lot of times you're like, dang, man, how they know I'm going low all the time? Well, I'm used to looking at my toes. Tekken players are used to moving a lot of times instead of it.
Yeah, 2D players might also not have the trauma of eating a big mid launch like that just happened to get stepped. You know?
Right. Really using
nice
that 1+2, but Jala's not really worried about it at all. And then the cannonball straight counter ahead.
And truthfully, I think Brian players in Season 2 should always have that move on the mind. And maybe it's obvious, but that move really changes the dynamic of how he fights against a lot of these, you know, more oppressive poke characters. He caught on to the lows.
Nice double parry. It will work. Yeah, you're certainly right. Here we go. Damn shame, brother. I'm lifting it up for you. You just can't get it in the basket.
Snake Eyes parry and the Neo Incinerator to close out. Kept it really solid there. Missed a few of the taunt follow-ups, but he clearly didn't need it.
Yeah, you know, we want to see those things. Whenever we see Brian Fury up on the stream, everybody has their eyes like, oh, is it going to be one of those Brian players?